Sup, dudes? I'm Nate Heater.
And I'm Frank Lamontia.
And we are the Sup Dudes. Coming at you from my car in a parking lot at a movie theater. You know what that means? It's been a long time, but say it with me, everybody. Movie review time. Woo! I got that out of one breath. Oh, impressive.
Try not to have too many more breaths.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Don't forget to tip your server, because we just saw the movie The Menu.
The Menu.
Even though they kind of said at the end not to tip them, but we're not going to ruin the ending. But
it was a high scale play, so
yeah,
it's no tipping.
Gratuity was included, they said.
Yes.
So this is a movie basically about a bunch of people on an island at a fancy restaurant, and then, as one of the characters says, all hell breaks loose.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, in they said in the one part.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, and it's a
horror comedy.
I guess, well, it's a horror comedy, but the concept is that you don't order. It's a preset menu, and that's what you go for the experience, and you trust the chef and all that. He's a very well-known chef. All the people invited are either foodies or celebrities, and so that's the premise.
Yep. Tell them who's in it.
Who's in it? The chef is Ralph Fiennes.
You may have seen him in movies such as The Kingsman, more recent, or if you're like a 90s baby, Schindler's List.
Yeah, and a bunch of other stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, but those are the two, yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy, she plays one of the main characters. Otherwise, we wouldn't be telling you who she was.
She was in The Queen's Gambit, for one, and I know she was in The Witch, which was at M. Night Shyamalan?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm not sure. Doesn't matter.
We'll put up who it was directed by, but yeah. The Witch is good.
Yeah, she was a good character. I liked her a lot. I lost my people. And we have Judith Light from Who's the Boss fame. I recognized her. I thought, she's a little aged, but she's in there. John Leguizamo, he plays an interesting character.
He was in an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yes, he was.
Unfortunately.
Yes, he was. Well, not unfortunately. He was in two that were fairly bad.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we're not talking about M. Night Shyamalan.
No.
Okay? And Hong Chow. She played kind of like the Maitre D.
Elsa was her name?
Huh?
Elsa?
I believe it was Elsa's the character.
I think it was like the Frozen name.
She is my favorite character in this movie. Anyway, you'll see.
Mine was Ralph.
He was excellent too.
Yeah.
This movie, one word, tasty. Really good movie. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. As you can see by my counterpart's expression over here, he was none too thrilled.
I was doing that more for the fact that you said tasty for the menu.
Okay, it was tasty.
Go for it. You started off.
I don't know what to say without messing it up. At first, everyone's gathering at a pier because it takes place on an island. The restaurant's on an island. So everyone's gathering at a pier to get on the boat to go to the island, and so you get a sense of all their characters, and you immediately start to hate a couple of them. And I guess in this day and age, some of them are internet famous people type stuff, but all very pretentious. Except for the two that I liked. And so they go to the island. They sit down for the menu. The chef is very quirky. The whole thing is very rigidly scheduled. And the chef's crew, they're very well disciplined. And the plates are very, very, very exotic. And what I like to call pretty food. Which I did have a chance to taste one time because I was in a city that had a lower price range than where I grew up in New York. So I didn't consider it expensive by New York standards, so I had a chance to eat fancy food for once. And this was a lot fancier than that. But what I'm saying is it's like pretty food, very minimalistic. It takes a lot longer to even just plate than to eat. I mean, cooking always takes longer, but this just to plate the food, it took longer than it did to eat it. So it's that kind of thing, and they pull that off really good. And it's a horror comedy. It's weird. It's really weird, really quirky. I don't know what to tell you without messing anything up. But I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
So, start off with the goods, because I guess Frank just did all goods right now.
I have no bads.
No. Ralph Fiennes. Loved him.
He's amazing.
Anya. Loved her.
She was good.
Elsa.
She was great. I loved her.
Everyone else in the movie.
Why'd you say everyone's character name? And
I forgot what Elsa's name was.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what
everyone's actor name.
I forgot what her actor name was, so that's why I just said it quickly. Even though you just said it like a couple minutes. Hung Chow. Yeah. Rest of the cast. Yeah. Wasn't really a fan of the rest of the cast at that point.
Well, you're not supposed to be. I mean, you mean the acting?
Yeah, the acting.
Huh.
Wasn't really a fan of a lot of that. I just thought it got...
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I guess I don't want to go into my badge right away. I'll keep going with the goods. Camera work was really nice. A lot of great shots, in my opinion. A lot of use of like steady cam versus like shaky cam, without getting into too details and boring you all. Gore factor is there. Not a whole lot, right, but I think it's just enough.
Yeah, it's minimal, but it works.
They used it sparingly, but to really emphasize when they needed it to, and it really worked out well then. I don't think I really have much else to say. My bads are that it's a horror comedy, yet I was getting bored a lot of the times, and I wasn't laughing. So that's a big issue for me. If you're going to call something a horror comedy and I'm not going to laugh, you're losing points.
You have a point there, but I thought there were a lot of funny moments.
Like, if it was just a horror movie that had some comedy elements to break it up, like a lot of horror movies do, that way it's not all tension. If it would have been like just that, if it was like just listed as horror, but then a few comedy moments here and there, I would have let it pass. But the fact that they're calling it a horror comedy didn't work.
Well, okay.
Anything bad you want to say?
No. But to touch on one of your bads about the acting, I think they acted perfectly for their characters. I mean, the pretentiousness, I don't know, the entitlement. I mean, you really feel it. And I mean, some of the acting may not have been perfect, like the way they spoke, or it could have been a little off, but the characters came through, and it was, you really hated them at times, and you're supposed to, because there's these pretentious jackasses. But I don't know. I really don't have any downside. Like I said, maybe a little off on some of the acting. That's it.
I got one more bad then.
Go ahead.
The ending. Did not like the ending. I'm sorry, but that ending was awful, in my opinion. I thought it was...
You mean the very, very end?
Yes, the ending.
The end, like during the credits, as the credits come?
No, not even that. Like, up before that, too.
No,
because I don't...
That was good.
There was a part of the ending where I'm just, like, so confused. I thought it was poorly written at the end, and, like... I just didn't like the ending. It really didn't tie it all together, in my opinion. Like, alright, it did tie the movie together. It didn't do it for me, though.
Alright.
Let's get to the ratings.
I thought it was pure genius.
Sorry.
I really thought it was pure genius. I really did. The ending and everything. But, alright, go ahead.
Ratings. Frank, go for it.
Really?
You're starting.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you liked it. Go for it.
I loved it. I'm going to give it a solid 9.
9.
I'm going to give it a solid 9.
Anything you want to add before, Ernie?
I'm hungry.
Alright, I will say there was one food in there that actually looked pretty good that I really want to eat.
Yes.
I will say that.
Actually, it all looked good, just weird. But there was one especially, and it's one of my favorites.
Alright, so if this was just a regular horror movie, not the comedy involved, this would have gotten an 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Really?
This would have gotten that if it was just a horror movie. It's not, though. It's a horror comedy. I gotta dock off some points. I'm taking it down to a 7.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. I thought you were gonna do worse.
I
I'll
was
take that from you.
I was
for this.
thinking. I'm not even joking. I was thinking 6.5.
All right.
But the more I sat here and thought about it, like the comedy didn't really ruin it that much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it ruined it just enough that I can't give it an 8. So it has to be like a 7 out of 10 for me. So easy average score at this point, Frank.
I believe it would be an 8.
Yes, it would be. Quick math for you all. Do we recommend this movie?
I absolutely do. I loved it. And there's a couple of little quirky things with the menu, with the way they described the menu to actually put the items on the screen. I thought that was a nice touch. It was really good.
I mean, for how much I was bashing it, I'm still gonna say watch it. I'm still gonna say watch it, even though I've been bashing it like the whole review, except for like a couple good things. I just think you gotta watch it for Ralph, Anya, and I forgot her name again.
Hung.
Thank you. For those 3 alone, watch it.
Yes.
Especially with how
Really, really great work.
especially with how Ralph and Anya, like their chemistry together in this movie. I will say I like that. So, it's been a while since we've done one of these, I think.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We're back. It's December. Pretty soon there's going to be a Christmas movie on here.
And we're already planning next year.
Yep, we're already planning for next year.
Yeah.
So, we don't want to give any spoilers away. With that being said, I'm Nate Heater.
And I'm Frank Lamontia.
And we are the Sup Dudes. So long.
Bye-bye.
Kind of hungry now.
Very hungry.